I'm really not sure what the overall message is for everybody. I'm just going to show you what they keep showing to me. So I also think there has to be a message for me too, because I'm not sure I understand. So they're showing me how like there are people in my life that have been like my muse, right? They excite me, they delight me, they tantalize me, they inspire me. It's like they open up our imagination to things that it's like they unlock things in our own mind that had they not come along would not have been unlocked. And so I think oftentimes when outside parties see those dynamics, what is that? It's like they jump to conclusions. I know I have. Like I've seen like different artists, and I use that word truthfully. Right? I was going to say loosely, but really, like I think most people, when you say that, they're so narrow-minded on what art is, but art is everything. So actually the artist I'm thinking of is actually a designer, a clothing designer. And his muse is not his lover, although for the longest time I thought that was the case because of their dynamic and how he references and speaks of her. And yet that's not the case at all. It's just that person who unlocks that side of him. And so I've experienced that many a times where I myself have confused my muse with, so it's like in that because this person is able to unlock all these things, there must be something more here. And it's like, well, what more could you want? Like, that's amazing that you can unlock those things, right? And so that doesn't mean you have to experience those things with that person. And you might not even truly understand why or desire to, or all these things. And so I'm still trying to get there. But then there's other people that you do have true love with. And those people, I suppose that it's like those people have to be strong enough to understand that dynamic or have maybe, hopefully, experienced the same type of dynamics so that they can truly understand what I'm saying, right? So this is kind of how they're showing it to me. This is I'm not really sure. I think maybe what I just said might be the message, where it's like, I might love somebody. I might love person A, right? And we have a wonderful dynamic, and that's where I want my everyday life and future to be. Yet person B tantalizes me in ways that unlocks part of my mind that just excites me and delights me to no end. My interaction, my whatever the case may be, like that's my muse. Yet the parts of me that it unlocks, I want to then experience with my person A. But person A knows that person B unlocks that inside of me and can confuse as well and think, oh, well, then you want to be with person B. And it's like, no. Right? And I can see how, like I said, I've been confused by this personally and outside me seeing others. It's like you question. And so one has to know oneself and one has to understand these types of dynamics and be honest with oneself and be true and strong and confident within oneself. And so does that person's partner. That person's partner has to be incredibly strong and confident as well. Right? Because, or at least, again, maybe it's because it's just showing me and how I'm experiencing it. And so like my partner does have to be that strong to truly understand that, trust me and be with me and be strong enough to hold that. Because if they start to waver, if their confidence starts to diminish, and don't get me wrong, we all have that at times. It's one thing to have that discussion and clarity is so wildly important, and that communication and that honesty and that vulnerability, and that person needs to say, listen, my confidence is sliding here. I need some clarity or some, but if that became a constant practice where it was like, I was constantly having to prop this person up because the truth is they don't have that confidence. In other words, it's one thing to slide here and there. We all do. But if it's, no, this person has no confidence, I have to constantly pump them up, then they're not my person, right? Like they don't have the base foundation. What is it? Like, what is the message here? I really am not sure because I keep bringing up the muse again. You know what it feels like? It almost is like, it's almost like the muse is the third party. And yet, it's like the third party can never come in between. You know, and so this is interesting. This is interesting to me because a lot of times a third party can even mean work. It can mean family. It can mean many other things. It's an outside interfering with the inside, right? It's an outside interfering with the two main characters. So if any outside, that's the third party. Interferes, that's a problem. And that means that third party needs to be addressed. So whether it is work or family or whatever, but the reason it's interesting to me in this case is because it's both. It's like, it's because I'm looking at it as work, right? If it unlocks my imagination, that's part of my work, right? And so then, but it's also a person. And so this is why it can get maybe tangled and confused, muddled and mixed within my own mind or within that other person's mind. That's where it's like all clear boundaries need to be set and addressed. It's like from the jump, from the go, but it doesn't always work that way. Life is not that clear cut and clean, right? It's like sometimes we have to learn as we go, so to speak. Or maybe that's what this message is, to bring clarity to somebody. Maybe that is it. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Sorry. Maybe somebody is experiencing this type of dynamic where they are, it's like I feel like I'm tapping into the lovers, like I'm tapping into the A and B, like the me and A, right? So it's like maybe the lovers have true love and they are confused by B, the muse. Like, what is B? Are they a threat? Are they whatever? And so, my advice is always to love yourself, go within, and then also have real communication with your lover. You need to get real clarity. And if you fully love yourself, then you can fully love them. In other words, I'm going to honor me first and foremost. And this is what feels best and true and right for me. And I fully love and honor you, and I want you to feel and do what's best and right and true for you. So that's going to determine where the two of them go from there, whether together or apart. You just have to be clear and true within you. But sidestepping that and back to the story, or maybe that's it. Don't sidestep it. That is the answer. Or that is the answer. That's the answer for them. They just need to get clear and true with themselves, inside themselves, and have that conversation with the other. And it seems like they have to understand this dynamic. God, sometimes I really do wish I could see more. Right? Like I really do wish I could see more. Meaning, is it the exact dynamic I'm referencing? Like, are they dealing with a person that is a muse? That is also, like, so then the third party, Man, I have experienced this. And it's true. If you're not clear within you, you don't know either. I mean, because that's happened to me too, where it's like I wasn't clear within me to understand the dynamics or what was happening. So you can get quickly confused that, is the muse your, is supposed to be your lover, is whatever. And it's not always the case. Sometimes it is, but it's not always the case. And it is so painful. It's like you don't want to dismiss the muse. They unlock such beauty within you. And yet, if people around you can't handle that dynamic and you love the people around, do you see how it can cause such a clusterfuck or such a wrench in... Yeah, okay, so they're showing it as me. It's like it could be a wrench in my life where it's like it fucks up both sides of your life, where it's like, no, you want it all. But, and what's interesting is not everybody, like I was going to say, but if people don't understand you, those parties in your life, then it sucks. But you shouldn't have to... Is this the problem they're facing? Because you need to be happy within oneself. So that's what I was thinking. Like, you shouldn't have to, like, those outside of you, that's their own work to do. So maybe they're in the wrong dynamics or something. I don't know. Like, you're not around people who get you, so to speak. But you need to be happy no matter what. So you need to figure that out with inside of you. Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Because, yeah, sorry, we're having like 12 side conversations over here. And it's, because it's, to me, it's like you want to have it all. I mean, I want to have it all. I want to have my muse. I want to have my imagination. I want to have my work. I want to have my love. I want to have all that excitement and joy within me and have it unlocked by what inspires me around me. And I want to have my strong lover, strong meaning confident and able to, it's like, get it and not be threatened by it or worried about it or paranoid or confused or all types of things, right? Because that can trip into toxic, right? Like that can very quickly trip into unhealthy dynamics that can truly, truly mess with one's mind and your own as well, right? Like if you're with somebody who can't handle all that and then they constantly question it and you constantly have to pump them up, then you start to question yourself and then question that dynamic and question, this is why it's like, it's not necessarily bad. You do want to question those then, because then maybe that is the wrong dynamic, because then they really they don't have a strong foundation and they don't have, I think we're circling the same stuff here. I'm just repeating now at this point, or regurgitating. So I think we must have gotten to the root of what it is somebody's struggling with. And so hopefully you heard your message within that. Sorry, they're still circling and showing. It's like, you know what they're showing? Whoever it is listening or whoever it is for is still unsure. So if you're unsure, then you need to go within. And forget about everybody without, right? It's like you go within and forget the outside world and get really true and honest with you and untangle it all. Get clear within yourself. Decide what you truly want. Feel it, know it. Be honest with yourself. I was going to say what you can and cannot tolerate. But is that what you want me to say? Because I don't know that we want to look at it that way. I don't want you to tolerate. That seems like a negative way to look at it. I want you to be honest with yourself, how you want your life to look and feel and be. And it's like the stronger you can stand in that truth, the more you'll call that truth in. And reject the opposing. There's something right there. There's something right there that they're struggling with or dealing with. So you're either not clear within yourself, or what? Or they don't know how to communicate it. It's like, have they gotten clarity? It's like now maybe they have gotten clarity, but they don't know how to communicate it. What do you mean? They don't know how to. They have gotten clarity, but they don't know how to communicate it. They don't know how to tell those outside themselves. I was going to say it's almost like they've changed their mind, but they haven't changed their mind. They've just gotten clarity within themselves. They've just gotten stronger and truer within themselves. And because of that, there's like consequently, they have concluded something. And in that conclusion, they need to communicate. So maybe it's like they have to have a hard conversation. Yeah, that has to be. Maybe they have to have a hard conversation. And none of us like to have those hard conversations. I feel like we could be here for hours with this person. You know why? Because it feels like this person keeps asking me questions. And it's like they want me to give them all the answers. But I could never, ever give you all your answers. Only you can give you your answers. Because I would only be coming to conclusions based on my own perspective. And even if we have very similar perspectives, we have led different lives. And even if we have led very similar lives, no two are identical. And so there's always going to be a variance. And so you're only shooting yourself in the foot if you constantly look towards another for all your answers. It's one thing to get the guidance or get going in the right direction, but you do have to do some of the work. And it's for your own sake and benefit. You don't want anybody else to be your mouthpiece or running your show or running your brain, so to speak. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. They're showing like a therapist now too. That's true. Yeah, so that's true. We've talked about this many a times where it's like a lot of times a therapist won't tell you any answers because you need to be able to think on your own. And you need to come to those conclusions on your own, not just for your sake, but also for the therapist, because you are, of course, going to have backlash during your life. And then your easy excuses, well, the therapist told me it was their fault. No, it wasn't. You have a brain. You utilized it. You made your decision. And of course, you don't want to be going to a bad therapist who can steer you or this or that. But 9 times out of 10, they're not. They're helping you think on your own, but then you're not happy with your conclusions. But that's on you. You have to take that ownership, that personal responsibility. So maybe that's what this person isn't ready to do. It's like maybe that's back to that hard conversation. It's like they have to, it's like be a big boy now. It's like have that. I'm laughing just because it feels like I'm not tapping into somebody fresh or new, meaning they're not like young and like, maybe I'm wrong, maybe they are. I mean, in other words, this can't possibly be the first time you've had to have a hard conversation. Maybe that's it. It's like it doesn't necessarily ever get easier, does it? It's like, who wants to have tough conversations? No one, but you have to love yourself enough to have them. Yeah, we could circle here for days. We're going to jump out of this one. Enough's enough. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.